Describe a time when you insulted your teacher. You should say where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, and explain how you felt about it.
Today, I am going to share a little story with you today. So, let me take you back to a not so great moment in my school life. It all went down in my English class, the very place where we learn to, talk good and stuff. It happened about a couple of months ago, on a gloomy Monday morning. I was sitting in the back row, trying my best to stay awake. Miss Parvinder Kaur Daina, our English teacher, was explaining something about tenses, past, present, future, you get the drift. But, to be honest, it was like she was speaking a whole different language, and I was lost in translation. As she droned on and on, I found myself getting more and more frustrated. It wasn't her fault, it was just my brain not cooperating that day. Suddenly, I blurted out something without thinking, a comment that I thought was funny, but, turns out, not everyone shared my sense of humor. Miss Parvinder Kaur Daina looked at me with those disappointed eyes, and the entire class went silent. You see, I had been pulling an all-nighter playing video games the previous night. So, my brain was kind of mushy, and I didn't mean to insult Miss Daina. It just slipped out, like when you drop your favorite snack, and it's too late to catch it. So, there I was, sitting in class, feeling a mix of embarrassment and regret. I could see my classmate giving me the side eye, and Miss Daina, well, let's just say she wasn't thrilled. I tried to apologize, but the damage was done. It felt like I had kicked a ball into my own goal during a soccer game. I walked out of the classroom feeling like a total goofball. I mean, who says something like that to their teacher? I couldn't shake off the feeling of guilt, and it haunted me for the rest of the day. The worst part was knowing I let down someone who was just trying to help me understand English better. Looking back, I realized that sometimes our mouths work faster than our brains. I should have taken a deep breath, counted to 10, or maybe 100, and just kept my thoughts to myself. Insulting a teacher is never cool. We should all appreciate the effort they put into helping us grow and learn. Miss Parvinder Kaur Daina, if you're somehow hearing this, I want to say sorry again. I didn't mean to be disrespectful, and I've learned my lesson. Let's all try to think twice before we speak, especially when it comes to our awesome teachers.
Droned on and on. This phrase means to speak for a long time in a monotonous or boring way, making it difficult for others to stay interested. It all went down. This expression is a colloquial way of saying everything happened or unfolded. Side eye. Giving someone the side eye means looking at them with suspicion or disapproval. Pulling an all-nighter. This idiom refers to staying up all night, often to study or work on something urgently. Goofball. Informally, a goofball is someone who acts silly or makes foolish mistakes. Kick a ball into my own goal. This is a metaphorical expression indicating making a mistake or doing something that harms oneself unintentionally. Think twice before we speak. This phrase suggests taking a moment to consider the potential consequences of what we are about to say before speaking out. Mushy brain. In this context, it refers to a state of mental fatigue or confusion, often caused by lack of sleep or excessive activities. Haunted me. This phrase is used metaphorically to convey that a feeling or thought lingered in the mind persistently. Drift. In this context, you get the drift means you understand the general idea or concept being discussed. In the back row. Sitting in the back row refers to being seated in the last row of seats in a classroom or auditorium.